Jacqueline. Welcome back, or welcome here if it's your first time. If it is your first time, I apologize for my somewhat horrifying look right now. I broke my own rules last night and fell asleep before washing my face. So I developed this nice under the skin blemish on my nose as a result. This is why I should take my own advice. Anyway, we are going to do a look that I've been doing the longest as far as things that I've been working with the same kind of colors and the same sort of products for a certain eye look since my teens, and it's definitely developed and become a little bit more sophisticated. Back when I was 16, I didn't really know about eye primer, and my eyeshadow was only really good for about an hour or so, and we've come a long way. The colors that I use have not changed that much. For my brown eyes, I have different rings of color. I have kind of a warm brown, I have kind of a gold ring, and kind of a greenish gray ring in my iris, so they all kind of fluctuate depending on God knows what. I still can't figure it out if it's what color I'm wearing or how I'm feeling or anything like that. I can't seem to figure it out. But I've found that purples and golds together really tend to kind of make my eyes sparkle. It can look very neutral while still being some color and not being brown eyeshadow, which we all know I love bronze and brown eyeshadow. It's not hard to pick up around here. But today I thought we would work with a shadow that I've loved for longer than I probably should. This is MAC Single Shadow in the shade Trax, and this is spelled Trax. This is a purpley shade with gold shimmer in it. I really like using this one with Woodwinked, which is my favorite neutral bronzy gold shade by MAC. And we're going to be using a couple of different fallback formulas for our crease color today. Let me know what you guys think of this kind of video down below. The tutorials tend to get less views than everything else, though when I talk to you guys, you seem to like them. So let me know if there's a specific thing that you would like me to do with tutorials, or things you would like me to skip, that sort of thing that would make it more interesting or relevant to you. Let me know those things, because I'm really flexible. If you have a strong opinion as to, we don't really need to see this part or something like that, let me know. I would love your feedback. For today's purposes, just so I don't bore you, I have already primed and set the crease portion of my eyes, so I have some eye primer down and some of my Creme Brulee Wet n Wild single shadow on my crease. We're going to be using this palette that I showed you guys in my favorites video, and a little bit of some of these fallback shades too. We'll see, but we're going to kind of stick with this palette. Trax is one of the few non-makeup geek shadows in here. We're also going to play with a couple of these Anastasia ones. This is Dusty Rose and this is Buon Fresco, in case you were wondering. I thought I would teach you a slightly different method of application. So we're going to start with our transition shade and our crease work, and then we're going to go in and add a lid color in a way that we haven't done yet. So I hope you can learn something new today. So now with my Wet n Wild Fluffy Crease Brush, you guys have seen me use this a million times, I'm going to go in and grab a little bit of Sand Dollar by Makeup Geek. But this is so light that it barely shows up, so I'm going to mix in a little bit of Barcelona Beach. That's these two shades here. This is Sand Dollar and this is Barcelona Beach. So I'm gonna just take a little touch of each. That's about where I want it. So now I'm gonna reach for my Sigma E25. Again, I'm gonna spot clean this. With the now semi-clean E25, I'm gonna go into Dusty Rose is a little bit more pinky and Buon Fresco is a little bit more purpley. So I'm gonna actually mix the two. What I'm gonna do, I just coated this one side of the E25. You can see the color right there. It's not on this side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the color on the part that's facing up so that I don't get it too far down on my crease. So it's just preventing any color from ending up on my lid by not putting any shadow on that side of the brush. So it's not as stark as a cut crease, but it's between a cut crease and a totally diffused crease. I'm gonna go back in with that Wet n Wild fluffy crease brush, and almost no pigment on it whatsoever. I dipped it in those shades just the tiniest bit, and then I basically tapped all that powder off. Just don't want it to be too gray. I want to add some depth in this outer corner. As I've discussed previously, shimmer shadows just have a different purpose, so they don't create depth the same way that matte shades can. That's why we're adding this out here. Alright, about like that is what we're going for. Now I'm going to try to match it on the other side. Got that, I think it's time to add our lid shade. And what I'm gonna do for this is I'm actually going to use a cream base to put our accent shadow on. So what I'm using is this Essence 2-in-1 eyeshadow and liner pencil, and this is in the shade 6 called She's Got the Mauve. Though this is a little bit cooler in tone than the shade we're going to be putting on, I think it's going to add some multi-dimensional shimmer to just make the shade look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to keep this to the area that looks like my skin still. Mark out the general shape that I want, which is like the inner 2/3 of this lid. So I'm going to use this Wet n Wild brush from their pink and white collection. I think it's a smudger brush. I'm taking a Wet n Wild small concealer brush into that MAC Trax shade. This one right here. And I'm just gonna pack that on top. Use this Crown C441 Pro Blending Crease Brush, and I'm just going to swirl that in a little bit of Trax, not a ton, just a little bit, and blend out. And now, as you can see, now that we've got that shade on, it blends nicely into the kind of dusty mauve shades that we've put in the crease, but I'm gonna want to add a little bit more of a deep purple on the outer corner just to create some more depth now that everything is kind of uniform in depth of color. So we want to add some more shape back to the eye. I'm gonna add something dark out here and in this outer crease, and that'll give us that dimension back. I'm gonna go in with an oldie but a goodie. This one right here is MAC Sketch. It has the tiniest bit of shimmer in it, but it's undetectable once you blend it in, so I'm not concerned about it. I'm gonna be placing that. So when my eye's like this, I want it to be right here. And then when my eye is more closed, it gives me a little more perspective. So I want it like that. Grabbing our E25 from earlier. No additional product. Now we need a little Woodwinked. Just on the inner corner. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Professional Concealer brush and dip into Woodwinked, which is a part of my little fallback cluster of shadows that I keep in this small palette. If you've not seen my favorites video yet, I will link that for you down below. Go check that out. It is kind of long, but it's honestly all the stuff that I've been loving for like months or years. If you're really curious as to things that I keep going back to, they're all right there. I'm just applying this to bring some light back into this inner corner, because even though there's shimmer in that Trax shade, a lot of it gets blended away, so I just want to have some of that gold back. I'm going to add a wing, and to do that, I'm going to use my Inglot gel liner in the shade 77, which is just black. And it looks like this. I have used it once so far and I really enjoyed it, so I'm gonna use it again. And I'm using my Royal and Langnickel paintbrush that I picked up at a craft store several years ago. You can use whatever angled brush you like. This is just what I like for doing my gel liner. I wonder if this will stay on my waterline the way it stays on my upper lid. I'm gonna try it. I would not advise using a brush on your waterline if you've never done it before. This is something I've done before and I'm not worried about it. Just be careful. You don't want to scratch your eye. Not transferring to my lower waterline, which has never happened to me. So I'm pretty hopeful about this. And my wings are not perfect, but they're good enough. I'm gonna clean up this one a little bit. I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit of liquid liner just to touch up that wing. It's a bad liner day, folks. It's a bad liner day. Well, if I didn't wipe it off now, it wasn't gonna come off. Let's see what we can do. Back to pre-mess up on the eyeliner. I'm gonna go and finish up the rest of my face and then I'll come back and show you what I do on the lower lash line. See you in a bit. Got my face makeup on, I've got my concealer all set and everything under my eye, and we're gonna go in and do some lower lash shadow real quick. to finish up the eyes, but I just wanted to show you guys something real quick that's going on right here. So I'm gonna come up a little bit closer so you can see. I just misted my face with some MAC Fix Plus to set everything down to kind of help the powders on my face to meld with the foundation. This Anastasia brow pen that I use in the front of my brow was disturbed by that Fix Plus that I just sprayed. So that just kind of migrated down and kind of started dripping down beneath my brow. Super cute. It seemed like the color kind of separated and changed. There was a little bit of like a red blob going down. I think a sprinkle of that mist didn't spread as well as it should. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming on. Muscled my way out of it. Okay, but I think just a splatter landed there and kind of dripped because the other side is not affected. I used more of that pen on this side than this side. Something else interesting that's going on my face right now, and I'm not really sure why, and this was part of why I sprayed my face. Thankfully I don't have a lot of places to go today where people are going to be judging my makeup skills, but it looks like I have little like chunks of white kind of embedded in my foundation, which is really a great look. Not at all, but I'm gonna play around with that some more. Maybe one of those bottles is just faulty. If you see some weirdness on my skin, I apologize. I did not mix white chunks in with my foundation, but they showed up today. And now I can't really get rid of them. Oh well, that's as good as it's gonna get. Let's do some lower lash shadow before I get distracted on anything else. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Figure 1, which is this purpley shade here by MAC. And we're gonna put that on the lower lash line. A Real Techniques shading brush. This is what I like to use for my lower lash line. It just covers the perfect amount of area for me. I'm gonna swirl in that Figure 1 shade. Well, dab around, not quite swirl. I'm gonna focus this on the outer 2/3 of my lash line. What's nice about doing lower lash line shadow is that it kind of hides your little eye bags and that sort of thing. Any little small fine lines, kind of covers them up with fun color, particularly with matte shades on your under eye. It tends to disguise those lines. A shimmer, not so much. So keep that in mind when we go in with Trax here in a second. Keep it away from any fine lines that you don't want to accentuate, because it will do that. It's just the nature of the finish. On a little pencil brush, this is a Sonia Kashuk one, came in a whole set. I'm gonna grab some of that Trax shadow that we used on our lid, and I'm gonna put that in the center. Kind of mimic what we did earlier on the upper lash line and put a little bit of Woodwinked. Grabbing a little bit of Woodwinked, just gonna put that right here. Kind of blending it lightly, feathering that into this purple shade right there. This again just brings that little bit of light back in. I'm actually gonna touch up a little bit of it on our lid since I think it's faded a bit. And for our inner corner, this is another Sonia Kashuk brush from another set, and I'm gonna take a mixture of champagne and Prosecco pop. That's what I used on my face as well to highlight today. And that's it. I am going to quickly curl my lashes and apply some mascara off camera, and then I will be back. All right, this is our finished eye look. Just want to get up close so you can see. And as you can see now, my eyes look a lot brighter. It looks like the green ring has kind of expanded, or is at least emphasized by this color. So it looks like my eyes have kind of lightened up, or maybe it's just because there's not as deep a contrast that my eyes appear lighter because there's nothing darker than them besides liner. I'm not really sure what it is, if my eyes change to suit the shadow or what, but I find this look to be really flattering for brown eyes and like kind of golden colored eyes. Green eyes too. I mean, purple looks beautiful, beautiful on green eyes. So does gold. Honestly, purple is one of my favorite looks to do on blue eyes as well. I do this look on a lot of women who are attending weddings if they wear something more neutral and just want some sort of color but nothing loud. This is what I would do. I really enjoy this look. Let me know if this is something you would wear down below. I would have to say this is one of my most revisited looks as far as things that have been in my arsenal for a long time. And if you're interested at all in this lip color, this is another video that I'm filming today. It's a new product that we're testing out. So if that video is up before this one, I will link it below for you. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed and notified. You will receive a nice little notification on your phone saying that this video is now live. In conclusion, I hope this tutorial helped you. I hope it inspired you to maybe branch out of your comfort zone. Maybe don't just wear brown shadow. Purple is pretty wearable too. Hope you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are. I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you back for 2 videos a week. Till next time, keep dreaming.